Oh, I feel like we need a drum roll because, every afternoon at 4 o'clock, we are talking something good. We want someone to tell us something good. But I have a major, major surprise for you, which is just really, really, really good. I am just so overwhelmed to have my friend Maria join us. She and I were fortunate to meet a couple of years ago. I'll let her tell the story about how we met, but she is one of those people that is a beacon in the night. She's a shining light that you just cannot help but be attracted to her. And so she's been part of our recent world with Learn LinkedIn Like a Pro and a lot of good stuff. And I've learned so much about her in the recent months that I am excited that she's here. I'm shutting up. Maria, you tell us something good.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve. I'm so happy to be here. It's so funny because I'm in the morning huddle every single morning. And I start my day kind of like everyone else, where I need like my hype music. So I listen to some hype music, then I listen to some Steve and Mark, and then I listen to some more hype music, and then I start my day. And sprinkled in there, there's normally some working out, some good coffee, some gratitude, because you kind of hit it right on the head. I was not always a beacon of light, but I am definitely one of those people that believe that the glass is always half full. That's the only way that you can look at it, because we woke up this morning and we're breathing and we're walking and we're living, and we have so much to offer other people. And that's what I'm thankful for each day. And that's kind of how I started. So, Steve, you kind of hit on this a little bit. We met a couple of years ago now. I want to say it was almost 3 years ago, which is crazy, at an ESPN event where, you're walking around the room, you're shaking hands and kissing babies. And you had asked me to give my elevator pitch, which I had given to you. And you are just one of those people that is electric. And I think that people that know you, they know that you're no nonsense. You're no BS. You are what you are. You're not what you're not. And you're not pretending to be somebody that you aren't. And that's something that I adore about you, because I feel like you might be a little bit more seasoned than I am, but I feel like we're the same, because I feel like there's no reason to not be authentic and to not be yourself. And those that love you, love you. Those that don't. And that's okay.
You bring up a real interesting point there, and sorry to interrupt,
That's
but
okay.
an interesting point. One of those inflection points in my career was understanding that not everybody was going to love me. So I could either concentrate on trying to make those people love me, or spending more time with people who do, and so for me, that changed my career in such a way that I don't spend one waking moment trying to understand why someone does. I pay attention to the energy, the connection. And when we first met, there was a connection, and that connection has carried us through for 3 years, different jobs, different places, which is really when you met somebody special, when it's not about what they can do for you.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't actually agree with that more. I think that something that you talk about, that you've taught me, is about your personal advisory board. And I think that there's nothing more true than having that in your life. A long time ago, someone said something to me that was so profound, and it was, don't take advice from someone that you wouldn't trade places with.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. And there's people that are close to me in my life that I love and that are great people, but I wouldn't necessarily want to trade places with them. So they can believe what they believe and they can say what they can say, but that's going to go in one ear and out the other.
I love it. I love it. So I know that your career has taken some paths. Your life has taken some pretty amazing. So I don't want to hold the suspense anymore. Are you willing to share this unbelievably good news? I mean, this is what the show is about.
Yeah. So I got engaged in late 2019. We were planning a big wedding for November 2020. And then, the world kind of got a little crazy with COVID. And, we're planning a wedding here in South Florida with people coming from all over, because my husband and I, as I just said, my husband and I are not from here. So the surprise, the cat is out of the bag. I got married during quarantine. We were able to go to our church, and our priest married us, and it was really intimate and special. And it really was about what it was supposed to be about, which was the two of us and our love for each other. And we've been together for 7 years, and we kind of were like, do we wait another year, or do we just do this thing? And we said, let's just do this thing. So I got married.
First of all, congratulations. I feel like throwing rice or doing whatever we would normally do. For the sake of the audience, there are plenty of people who have planned those kind of intimate events, special lifetime memory events. What advice or what perspective, even better, could you give to people who are in a similar, like what went through your head? What were the challenges? And then what made you finally jump in and do it?
I'll say this. There was a lot of things going through my head. One of them was, I don't want to be one of these people that, we're going to try to have it on our original date, and then we end up having to postpone. That gave me a lot of anxiety. I was very stressed. I can't, forecast what's going to happen 4 months from now. I can't forecast what's going to happen 4 days from now. I mean, we're getting a storm, aren't we? But we might not. Who knows? So in the grand scheme of things, we wanted to have all of our special people there for that big day. And they were all there, but they were all right here, and it was just the two of us. And what we kind of look back on was it was absolutely perfect. And as much as I would have loved for my dad to walk me down the aisle and had our parents there, they were right where they needed to be. And they were just very close to our heart the entire time.
Did you do anything with Zoom to allow them to see it, or it was just you guys doing your thing? Us.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, that is so great. I mean, you said something that is so empowering. That's what it's supposed to be. People get carried away with trying to do more and please more people and allow more people into it. But at the very core of what getting married is, it's about you and your guy, man. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Man. So I am not surprised that if anybody would do it that way, it would be you. So congratulations. That's awesome. Clearly something good. What I'd like to do is sort of shift the conversation to what you do, because at the beginning of this, sort of interesting time is what I call it. You go back to March. I reached out to you just to say hello and what could I do? And you told me all about your current situation with philanthropy and what you were doing. And I instantly invited you in to learn LinkedIn, instantly said, what can I do? Because that's our nature. We are a very giving company. So why don't you tell the audience what you're doing, sort of what the challenges have been because of what's happened to the economy, what's happened to the entire, social structure, and then how can my audience help you?
Well, thank you. And I do want to, again, thank you for inviting me to come back to LinkedIn like a pro. And you're right. You just reached out to see how things were and to check in, which that's one of those things that I think is so important about keeping connected with people. It's just like you said, it's not what can this person do for you, but it's just being a good human and just reaching out and checking in, because sometimes that's all we really need is just some kindness. And so you and I had chatted and you invited me to LinkedIn like a pro. And I will tell you, that was my second time with LinkedIn like a pro. Absolutely loved it. Took 9 pages of notes. So as much as I thought that I was paying attention, I'm like sitting there and I'm trying to write and, get it all absorbed. And then was able to come back and do it again. And I feel like every time I sit in LinkedIn like a pro, I learn something different. I absorb something different. I make great connections. So I really thank you for that. And for those that don't know what I do, I work with an incredible organization here in West Palm Beach, Florida, for our South Florida market called Quantum House. And we are a nonprofit that we work with pediatric patients and their families that are having treatments in any of the area hospitals. So we are a 30-room house and we are their home away from home. And we take care of these families just as if they were our own families. So whether, it comes to cooking a hot meal, having a movie night, doing crafts, anything that we can do to lessen the burden while they're going through treatment is what we do here.
I think that's certainly a worthy cause. Right off the bat, though, the challenge is that this, this virus must be overwhelming. I mean, talk to us, if you can, a little bit about, people sheltered together, not being able to go to see their loved ones in the hospital. I mean, it's got to be nuts.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know what date this all happened. It's funny that to say that, but for me, the date that I remember is March 16th. I came to work on March 16th, and later that day I went home. I'd actually had my dad down here to go to some spring training games. Well, we made it to one spring training game, and at the end of that game, the season got canceled. So our plans diminished in an instant, which is fine. My parents are from New Jersey, so my mom and dad were back and forth. Maybe he should fly right home. Like maybe the airports are going to get shut down. Like we really didn't know what was going to happen. So March 16th, I got home from work. I called the airline. I got my dad on a flight, sent him home. And from that day until the second week of June, I was working from home, only coming into Quantum House one day a week, because that day our leadership made the decision that we were going to work on a skeleton staff. We were going to keep this house open, and we were going to keep these families safe. And we did everything that we could do to make sure that there wasn't people passing through our doors. We shut down to volunteers. We shut down to anyone that was not a staff member or a patient or a family member.
Incredible. So I'm curious, because I don't know this. How does it get funded? Is it public, private, both?
So we are funded completely by donations, by fundraising, by grants, and by donations, by the generosity of the people in this incredible community. And I will say this, all of our fundraising events were canceled from March through our biggest events were set to take place March, April, and June. So they were all canceled. And what we've done is we've learned to do just what we do, but with a lot less. We have just streamlined all of our processes here. But I will say this, we are so blessed by the people that love us and that love this house, because we have volunteers that have cooked meals at home and dropped them off outside the door. We have people that are dropping off craft and activity bags, because our kids can't play together right now. We can't have this, social interaction that we are used to having. We are used to being a community that does not isolate. And overnight, we had to ask everyone to isolate.
Wow. So if somebody were to want to donate, which, one of the things I'm stressing to people is that if you can give something, because that's a part of the human nature that we cannot give up on, because there are people less fortunate than us. So, I mean, it's, the reality is that's something that needs to happen. If they were to want to help, how could they help you out?
Well, they could contact me directly, and I could tell them different ways. A general gift or donation is obviously always going to be accepted and appreciated. We have an amazing program called our Adopt a Day program, where you can adopt a day. You can do it in celebration of a birthday or of a loved one, or just on the occasion of something that's happening, and you can dedicate it to another person, which we've seen a lot of that. And I think that it's really special when someone adopts a day in someone else's honor.
I'm curious. So if somebody were to adopt a day, what does that look like? What's the, investment, whatever they call it?
It's $100 investment. They can go ahead and do it through our website, which is www.quantumhouse.org. And they would be able to go under Adopt a Day, and they can fill out all those details. That would be just perfect for whoever they wanted to celebrate or honor.
So we are taping this on Thursday. This show will air tomorrow. And I know that today is your birthday.
It is my birthday.
Your birthday. I am sponsoring Adopt a Day in your name. I will make a
Thank
$100
you.
donation as a
Thank
birthday
you,
present
Steve.
to you. I did not plan that. I did not know anything about it, but you do great work. You're a great human being, and I am happy to help along the way. I will do my best to share this information with as many people as I can. I will share it in tomorrow's huddle, as a matter of fact.
I appreciate that very much.
We can try and get people to adopt the day, which is really the most it makes me feel good to do that. And one of the things about philanthropy is that it is really selfish. It makes me feel good, but there's other people that could take advantage of it. So in our closing minutes, what is it that you want to leave our audience with? A tidbit, something that is something good that you can leave them with, a parting thought, because you've been a great guest, and I'm super excited for your wedding and your birthday and so many good things
Thank
coming.
you. It's a really good day today. It's a good day to have a good day, right?
It's a good day to have a good day. What a great way to end. Tell me something good. You have been a treat. I'm excited. I didn't even know that we were taping on your birthday. So all of this stuff, the universe does great things. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, and who you are. And you know that you can always count on me to be.
Thank you.